Today is March 15. On the 15th of March before Christ, Gaius Julius Caesar enters the Curia of Pompeii one last time before being killed by a group of senators in what later on come to be known as the Ides of March. Now the question for you is, how many times was Caesar stabbed? Welcome everyone to a new episode of Smarter by the Second. Today I'm joined by Sem again.
Yes, nice to be back. Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. Looking forward to it to finally make it to the last round.
Yes, because this is your third time participating. Once when it was online live during COVID, and the second time now for you here in the studio.
Yeah, it's good to be back.
Yeah,
looking forward to it.
Good to hear. So this is also the third time that you're participating in science, and as you already said, you're trying to redeem yourself because you've made it to the last round every time, but you never quite got there.
No. This
might be the time to do it.
I hope it's my moment to shine. Yeah.
Yeah. So you now try to practice for it, that you're familiar with the show.
Yeah. Like I worked on it this whole morning, looked at Wikipedia and stuff. So I should be prepared. Yeah.
That's good to hear. So again, with science, you think this is the category for you? You don't think, I might try sports once?
No. Science is the way to go.
No, that's the only way you get even to the fourth round. Right?
That's true. Yeah.
All right. Then let's just get right into it, to the first round. In mathematics and computer science, an algorithm is a finite sequence of rigorous instructions, typically used to solve a class of specific problems or to perform a computation. Since this year, the doors to Smarter by the Second have been opened to our coffee members from Interactief. It is only natural that we should accommodate them by including topics they might feel more comfortable with. Here are then 9 algorithms and their pseudocode. You will see them on screen, and I will give the description, and you have to say the corresponding name of the algorithm.
All right.
So the 9 algorithms that we're going to show are Dijkstra's algorithm, bubble sort, Euclidean, Gaussian elimination, Gram-Schmidt, LU decomposition, quicksort, Bellman-Ford, and binary search.
All right.
I think some of them you get during your bachelor or during the master.
Yeah, that's a while back, but we'll get used to it. Yeah.
All right. So you will see them on screen, and I will give you a description. Best of luck.
Thanks.
First one. Divides an array in 3 parts to solve the problem recursively.
Quicksort.
Finds the greatest common divisor.
Euclidean.
Finds the position of an item in a sorted array.
Bubble sort.
Used for solving linear systems.
Gaussian elimination.
Finds the shortest path between nodes in a graph in a greedy way. Creates an orthonormal basis from any linearly independent set of vectors.
Gram-Schmidt.
Swaps elements in an array until the goal is achieved.
That is bubble sort, and the other one was binary search.
Find the shortest path between nodes in a graph using a dynamic programming approach.
Bellman-Ford.
Splits a matrix into the
LU
product
decompositions all the time.
So that was quite quick. You need 5 correct answers. Do you think there are 5?
I think I have 5, yeah.
Okay, that's good to hear. So no lifelines to be used?
No, why not?
Okay, then let's go to checking them. So the first one, it divides an array in 3 parts to solve the problem recursively. This is quicksort. I think this is actually an exercise for MATLAB in your first year, that you have to code this yourself. So the second one finds the greatest common divisor. That's the Euclidean algorithm. Finds the position of an item in a sorted array. That's binary search. Then the algorithm used for solving linear systems, that's Gaussian elimination. The algorithm that finds the shortest path between nodes in a graph in a greedy way, that's Dijkstra's algorithm. So that's your 5th correct answer. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Then it creates an orthonormal basis from any linearly independent set of vectors, that's Gram-Schmidt. It swaps elements in an array until the goal is achieved, that's bubble sort. Then the other shortest path finding algorithm, but this time using a dynamic programming approach, that's Bellman-Ford. And the last one, it splits a matrix into a product of a lower triangular and an upper triangular matrix. That's LU decomposition. So that's a perfect round, so you get a lifeline.
Oh, better than expected.
So then moving on to the second round, this time it's also 5 correct answers needed. When reading into medieval medical devices, it is hard to separate them from torture devices. For example, the artificial leech. It was used for bloodletting in case live leeches were not available. By piercing the skin with spring-loaded and then pulling the blood using a vacuum created by heating the device. Luckily, nowadays we have more sophisticated devices. 9 medical devices. I will give a description and you have to tell me the corresponding device.
All right, cool.
So the 9 options that we have are the MRI machine, the infusion pump, an ultrasound machine, a dialysis machine, a stethoscope, the blood pressure gauge, and CT scanner, endoscope, and a defibrillator.
Yep, should be
So
fine.
something completely else from algorithms, but
I
I'm
know.
still feeling confident.
Yeah.
This one's not in the Bachelor, I believe.
I hope not.
All right, let's start. A medical device to listen to internal sounds of an animal or human body.
A stethoscope.
Medical device composed of an inflatable cuff, mechanism for inflation, and a manometer. The cuff is placed around the patient's arms and then inflated and deflated to measure the pressure in the artery.
Blood pressure gauge.
Device used in treatment of life-threatening cardiac arrhythmias. It delivers a dose of...
Defibrillator.
Device used to create images of the internal body structures such as tendons, muscles, joints, blood vessels, and internal organs. Also used to examine pregnant women.
Ultrasound machine.
Device that uses a rotating X-ray tube and a row of detectors.
MRI.
Machine used to form pictures of the anatomy and the physiological process of the body. The device uses strong magnetic field
That's MRI.
Machine used to bring medication or nutrients into a patient's
Infusion pump.
Machine used to remove excess water, solutes, and toxins from the
Dialysis
body.
machine.
Inspections instrument composed of image sensor, optical
Endoscope. And the one I called MRI, CT, stop the time.
It's a bit of switching around, but you think you get them all on the right place?
Yeah, I think so, yeah.
So no lifelines needed?
No.
5 correct answers?
Yep.
All right, then we can go straight to checking. The first one, it's the medical device to listen to internal sounds of an animal or a human body. It's the stethoscope. Next up, the medical device composed of an inflatable cuff, mechanism for inflation, and a manometer. The cuff is placed around the patient's arms and then inflated and deflated to measure the pressure in the artery. That's the blood pressure gauge. Excuse me. Device used in treatment of life-threatening cardiac arrhythmias. It delivers a dose of electric current to the heart. That's a defibrillator. Device used to create images of the internal body structures such as tendons, muscles, joints, blood vessels, and internal organs. Also used to examine pregnant women. It's an ultrasound machine. Device that uses a rotating X-ray tube and a row of detectors placed in a gantry to measure X-ray attenuations by different tissues inside the body. This is indeed the CT scanner, so you corrected yourself well there. So this is also your 5th correct answer. Congratulations. Machine used to form pictures of the anatomy and the physiological process of the body. The device uses strong magnetic fields, magnetic field gradients, and radio waves to generate images of the organs in the body. This is the MRI machine. Machine used to bring medications or nutrients into a patient's circulatory system. It's an infusion pump. The machine used to remove excess water, solutes, and toxins from the blood in people whose kidneys can no longer perform these functions naturally. That's the dialysis machine. And then lastly, inspection instrument composed of an image sensor, optical lens, light source, and mechanical device used to look deep into the body by way of openings. That's an endoscope. So another perfect round. It's a great start. So now we are moving away from the rounds where 5 correct answers are needed, and we go to the ones where 6 are needed.
Yep.
So the third round. When talking about DNA, it is impossible not to think of discovery of the structure for which James Watson, Franz Crick, and Maurice Wilkins received the Nobel Prize. However, notably absent in this list is Rosalind Franklin, whose X-ray photographs of DNA contributed directly to the discovery of the structure. In this round, 9 genetic terms. I will give a description and you have to tell me the corresponding term. So the 9 words are phenotype, codon, genome, chromosome, mutation, gene, DNA, telomerase, and gene expression.
Yeah, it's fine.
So another biology round.
Yeah, I like biology. That's fine.
That's good to hear. All right, then let's start. The repetitive DNA sequence located at the ends of chromosomes that protect chromosomes from damage and deterioration.
Telomeres.
Segment of DNA that contains the instruction for the production of a specific protein or
Gene.
A thread-like structure made of DNA and protein that contains genetic information.
Genome.
Double standard molecule that contains the genetic instructions for the development, function, and reproduction of all living organisms.
DNA.
A change in the DNA sequence that can
Mutation.
alter a sequence of 3 nucleotides that correspond
Codon.
the process by which the information in a gene is used to produce a functional product, such as protein.
Gene expression.
The observable characteristics of an organism.
Phenotype.
The complete set of genetic information for an organism.
Chromosome subtype. Yeah, chromosome and DNA should be switched, but it's fine.
Yeah,
I already stopped the
there's
time.
still 6 correct answers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So no lifelines, because you can still use lifelines.
No, it's fine.
Okay. Then let's go on to checking. The repetitive DNA sequence located at the ends of chromosomes that protect chromosomes from damage and deterioration, that are indeed telomeres. Segment of DNA that contains the instruction for the production of a specific protein or RNA molecule, that's a gene. Then a thread-like structure made of DNA and protein that contains genetic information, that's a chromosome.
All right.
So I think that's your first wrong answer of the show. Then the double-stranded molecule that contains the genetic instructions for the development, function, and reproduction of all living organisms. This is DNA. A change in the DNA sequence that can alter the genetic information and affect the traits of an organism. That's mutation. A sequence of 3 nucleotides that corresponds to a specific amino acid or stop signal for protein synthesis. That's a codon. The process by which the information in a gene is used to produce a functional product such as protein, that's a gene expression, so that's your 6th correct answer. Then the observable characteristics of an organism determined by the interaction of its genotype with the environment, that's a phenotype. And then lastly, the complete set of the genetic information for an organism, that's a genome.
Yep.
So only 2 switched around, but not a bad score at all. So then moving on to the 4th round. Apologies, it's the season.
Yeah.
The Netherlands is known for its large tulip fields, of which you've probably seen beautiful pictures. But when it comes to flowers and tourism, one place is more known than any others. The Keukenhof in Lisse. In this round, 9 flower species that can be found in the Keukenhof. You will see them on the screen and you have to tell me which flower it is. So no description here.
Okay.
So the 9 flowers you can pick from are the tulip, the dianthus, the hyacinth, narcissus, orchid, primrose, iris, cherry blossom, and rhododendron.
All right. All right. Another biology round.
Yes, so that...
You're treating me today.
All right, so best of luck.
Thank you.
You will see them on the screen.
Primrose. Tulip. Iris. Dianthus. Narcissus. Hyacinth. Orchid. This might be a dianthus. Cherry blossom. And the first one is actually a rhododendron. And I called that a primrose, so then the missing one is a primrose. Stop the time.
So I heard a lot of more doubts in this round than in all the previous ones together.
Yeah, true.
You're still confident there are 6 correct answers, or is this the first round that you will use a lifeline? Or multiple?
I get all my lifelines to the next rounds, right?
Yes, you will keep them.
Let me use 1.
All right, 1, then 16 seconds will also be taken from the time you have left. And it means that you're now only looking for 5 correct answers. And then we can go to checking them. Then the first one up, this is indeed the rhododendron, so you corrected that one nicely. Then next up it's the tulip, the most famous one here in the Netherlands. This is the primrose. And this one will be counted correct using the lifeline. Then this is the iris, so I think.
All right, yeah.
Then the narcissus. And the hyacinth. An orchid, and this is your 6th correct one, so congratulations. Then you have the dianthus, and at the end we have the cherry blossom, so no lifeline was needed, but it's not that huge waste.
No, not good to be safe.
All right. This completes your 4th round, this means that you're on to the next episode.
Oh, great.
So congratulations, so we'll see you back next week.
Great, good to hear, thank you.
All right, see you then.
See ya.
And now we are joined by our new contestant, which is Thomas. Hello, Thomas.
Hello, Daan.
How are you doing?
Very good today. How are you?
I'm fine as well, thank you. So, Thomas, you already participated once, but it was when it was online, not here in the studio. Then you also did participate for the category media today as well. So you think this is your go-to category?
Yes, I think this is the best category for me. I wasn't too good last time, but I think this time
but you improved.
Even better. Yes, of course.
Ah, okay, that's good to hear. So the last time you participated, you were a candidate for the board of Abacus, and now you're a former board member.
Yes, quite a big change. Quite some time flew since the last time.
So how did you enjoy your board year?
Yeah, it was a good year. I enjoyed it a lot. But I'm also happy that I'm studying again.
Yeah.
I think that's why I'm at the university, so yeah.
Very true. All right, then without further ado, let's just jump right into round 1. Card games are a hobby widespread. Countless are the games that one may engage in with a simple 54 cards deck. What most people don't realize though is that the deck of cards they know, 52 divided evenly over 4 suits plus 2 jokers, is not just any deck, it is a French deck. A French deck of cards is any deck which utilizes French suits, clovers or clubs, diamonds, hearts and spades. In a similar way, an Italian deck is 40 cards deck that utilizes Italian suits, clubs, golds, cups and swords. Germany also has an own set of suits, acorns, leaves, hearts and bells, and so do many more countries. In spite of this, French playing cards are the most widely spread, with typical card sets from other countries being called weird as a result. Here are then 9 card games which are played with French cards. I will give a description of the game and you have to say the corresponding name of the game.
Alright.
So the games that you can choose from are canasta, poker, bridge, rummy, blackjack, hearts, spider, buraco and jazz. So, are you familiar with these games, Thomas?
I think I know most of the games. I've also played most of the games, so I think this will be a good round to start with.
Of course, Abacus is a very well-known game enjoyer.
Yes.
Association. So, we are looking for 5 correct answers in this round, but if you have all of them, you get an extra lifeline. So, it's always more.
Who knows?
All right, let's start with the round. Comparing card games in which player wager over which hand is best. Knows a dealer and 2 blinds and requires bluffing.
Poker.
Trick-taking card game for 4 players. In the American and British version, the Black Lady is valued at 13 points.
Hearts.
Played with 2 decks of cards by 4 players in teams of 2. The aim is to make melts of 7 cards of the same rank and close by playing all cards in one's hand. After first closure, each team must continue by picking up a second set of 11 cards.
Pass.
Trick-taking game for 4 players played in teams of 2, where a player may bet on being able to achieve with his partner more than half of the 162 points available in the game.
Jazz.
Type of solitaire game played with 104
Spider.
cards. Casino banking game, also known as
Blackjack.
21. The basic goal is to build melts, which can be either sets, 3 or 4 of a kind of the same rank, no doubles allowed, or runs, 3 or more sequential cards of the same suit.
Bridge.
Trick-taking game for 4 players played in teams of 2, where the goal is to successfully estimate how many tricks one's partnership can take. It is considered to be an official sport.
Then the first I didn't do is Curaçao and the second is Canasta Stop the Time.
Oh, there was still one.
Oh, I thought I had twice said pass.
Okay. But either way, you are only looking for 5 correct answers.
Yes.
So you think there are 5 correct, or do you need any lifelines?
Let's see.
You can take your time.
I think I should have 5 correct.
All right.
So let's not use any lifelines.
Then we go on to checking. The first one, comparing card games in which players wager over which hand is best, knows a dealer and 2 blinds and requires bluffing. This is poker. Then a trick-taking card game for 4 players. In the American and British version, the Black Lady is valued at 13 points. This is hearts. Played with 2 decks of cards by 4 players in teams of 2. The aim is to make melts of 7 cards of the same rank and close by playing all cards in one's hand. After first closure, each team must continue by picking up a second set of 11 cards. This is Buraco. So I think you got this one corrected
Nice.
well. Trick-taking game for 4 players played in teams of 2, where a player may bet on being able to achieve with his partner more than half of the 162 points available in the game. This is chess. Then a type of solitaire game played with 104 cards may be played in the variation 1, 2 or 4 suits. This is Spider. And this is also your 5th correct answer, so congratulations.
Yes.
Then a casino banking game also known as 21. This is of course Blackjack. Then the game where the basic goal is to build melts, which can be either sets, 3 or 4 of a kind of the same rank, no doubles allowed, or runs, 3 or more sequential cards of the same suit, and be the first to go out. This is Rummy. Then a trick-taking game for 4 players played in teams of 2, where the goal is to successfully estimate how many tricks one's partnership can take. It is considered to be an official sport. This is Bridge. And lastly, a game played with 2 decks of cards by 4 players in teams of 2. It knows a red tray and black tray, 3s that gain the team plus or minus points. The aim is to make melts of 7 cards of the same rank and close by playing all cards in one sense, and it is Canasta. So you only switch 2 of them around, but you are allowed to have 4 wrong answers, so we can continue on to the next round. Then the next round. Music has changed quite a lot over the years. Of course, previously on the show we have seen the evolution of musical instruments, and now it's time to hear the evolution of music over the last few decades. 9 songs and their decade of origin. You will hear the song and you will tell me the corresponding decade from which it originates.
All right.
So the options for this round are the 40s, the 0s, the 70s, the 80s, the 30s, the 50s, the 90s, the 2010s and the 60s. So it's just the 1930s all the way to the 2010s. So you will hear the song and you will have to tell me the corresponding decade. We are looking for 5 correct answers.
All right, let's go.
Good luck.
'50s. '80s. '40s. '30s. '70s. 2010s. 2000s. '90s. 1960s. Stop the time. I said 60s, is that one?
Yeah, it will be entered.
All right.
So the last time you participated, you actually failed on the music round.
Yes.
So you think this time you managed? We are looking for 5 correct answers, or do you think, still not confident?
I think I have 2 or 3 definitely good.
That's good to hear.
I think I could have changed up some of them. So, how much time is the disadvantage of using a
You will
lifeline?
lose 16 seconds. And you still have to do 2 rounds after this one.
Is that smart? Is that smart? Let's use one lifeline.
One lifeline.
Yes.
Alright. Alright, so then moving on to checking the answers. The first one was from the 1960s. The second one was from the 80s. Then we had the 40s, the 30s. Next up are the 70s. And a very recent one, that's the 2010. And then we have the zeros, followed up by the 90s. And lastly, we have the 50s. So you only switched around 2.
So it's great.
Yeah, the lifeline. So that's 8 correct answers where 5 are needed. So congratulations, you are moving on to the next round.
Nice, thank you.
And then, there we are. Media changes with every generation. At first, there was radio, then came television, and nowadays we have streaming and the internet. Here are 9 Pokemon from 9 different generations.
Right, Pokemon.
Yes. Right, you will see the Pokemon, and I will tell the corresponding generation from the Pokemon, and you have to tell me the name.
Yes.
Alright, did you play a lot of Pokemon?
I played the older versions mostly, so I remember some of the names, so I think
like
this will go.
Gen 1 to
okay.
4 should be fine, and then
Yeah.
you're only looking for 2 correct guesses, or what's the strategy?
Yeah, and perhaps the name says something about the Pokemon, so then let's see.
Alright, so the 9 Pokemon you can choose from are Spheal, Wiglet, Tyranitar, Wooloo, Torterra, Delphox, Toucannon, Oshawott, and Pikachu. So you will see them, I will give the corresponding generation.
Alright,
Best of luck.
thank you.
First up, Generation 1,
Pikachu,
Generation 2,
Tyranitar,
Generation 3,
Spheal,
Gen 4,
Torterra,
Gen 5,
Oshawott,
Gen 6,
Delphox,
Gen 7,
Toucannon,
Gen 8,
Wooloo,
and Gen 9.
Wiglet, stop the time.
So we're looking for 6.
I might have all of them correct. I don't know, but I think I didn't know the toucan, but it looks like a toucan, so it's probably right. So yeah, I think the Delphox. It looks like a fox with some fire or something. So I think this I have 6 correct. So I think I don't want to use a lifeline.
All right. Then we can go on to checking them. So you said you knew a lot about the first generation, so these should all be correct. So first up, it's Pikachu, of course. Then we have Tyranitar, followed by Spheal. Then we have Torterra. And in Gen 5 we have the Oshawott. And indeed the Firefox, it's Delphox. And then we have the toucan-like Pokemon, so it's Toucannon. And we have the sheep-like Wooloo. And lastly we have the Wiglet to round off the perfect score for this round.
Yes, that's amazing. I'm very happy
you
with
get
that.
an extra lifeline that you used in the previous one. So you have now got it back. And then we will move on to the 4th round. Dying is something which occurs in a lot of video games. Often a sound is played to remind the player of his or her incompetence. Here are 9 famous video games and their respective death sounds.
Ooh, Lego Yoda, let's go. I'm very excited about
the
this.
9 options are Donkey Kong, Mega Man, Mario, Doom Guy, Lego Yoda, Solid Snake, Pac-Man, Crash Bandicoot and Minecraft Steve. You played some of these games?
Yes, I am very famously, I know the Lego Yoda sound. I think there are some awesome YouTube videos of that one. And then I think I know most of them, so that's nice.
But if you only play them, do you also suck at them? Because then you hear the death sound.
Yeah, mostly I played the games, but then I never died, so we'll see.
So this is going to be a tough one for you.
Yes.
Alright, you will hear them and you have to say the corresponding video game character.
Alright.
Good luck.
Thank you. Donkey Kong. Solid Snake. Lego Yoda. Pac-Man. Mario. Doom guy. Minecraft Steve. This should be Mario. Mega Man, and then where the first one I said Mario, let's put Crash Bandicoot there and stop the time.
Think you're not so sure about this round as the previous one.
No.
So we are looking for 6 correct answers to remind you.
What is the disadvantage of using a lifetime now? Lifeline?
It's 16 seconds per lifeline. So I think you can use up to 4, but that leaves you with very little seconds to take with you if you want to do the final 2 rounds where all 9 of them should be correct. Then your remaining time will be added to your time for the next episode if you pass this round. So you want as many lifelines as time, but most of all you want to pass this round. So it's a tough choice.
Well, I think Steve and Snake and Lego Yoda and Mario are correct, and then the rest is just a good guess. I need to have 6 correct,
Yes, 6.
so I'll use 2 lifelines, and then that's
so that's also 32 seconds taken away. But this sounds like a smart choice, because you can have all those seconds you want, but if you have only 2 correct answers here, then you're out of the show.
Then you're out.
All right, so then we can move on to checking. The first up, that was the very funny crash sound from Crash Bandicoot. And then next up is Donkey Kong. So these 2 will be counted correctly using your lifeline.
All right.
Then the third one you were very sure about, that is Lego Yoda. Then we have Pac-Man. Next up is Mega Man. And then we have Solid Snake, followed by Minecraft Steve. And then Mario, and there's your 6th correct answer. So congratulations.
Yes.
And lastly we have Doom Guy. So
perfect.
Use of your lifelines. So congratulations. Think you should go back to those games and actually try to die to hear that part of the game as well.
Yeah.
So you now made it to the next episode. Congratulations. So we will see you back next week. Thank you for being here today.
It was fun. Nice.
Yeah. So now on to the answer of the viewer's question for today. It's 23 times. So thank you all for watching today's episode of Smarter by the Second, and we hope to see you again next week. Bye bye.